Alright, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Buzz, and this is my 1999 GMC Safari. I bought this van for $500 and had a blown motor. I've since replaced the motor, and I've done the Journeys Off-Road 5-inch lift kit, which I have a video on that, and I'll go ahead and put that in here somewhere. But this video is going to focus on the 4x4 conversion kit from Journeys Off-Road as well. Now, this is a very simple kit. The instructions are very thorough. This is a tutorial video. It is step-by-step instructions and hopefully clear up any sort of misgivings or confusions surrounding this sort of kit. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so this is what we need to make this all-wheel drive van a true 4x4. This is the NP 233C transfer case. You get these out of 2000 to 2003 S10s, Blazers, Jimmys, that kind of stuff. So I picked this one up at a local salvage yard. It was $75 and an extra $25 for a year warranty. So this came out of a 4x4 vehicle, right? This is a 3-button style, and you're gonna need 32 splines on the input shaft here. This is a 3-button style. It's electronic, so basically when the rear wheels start losing traction, this electronic module right here kicks in and makes the front wheels go into action as well. The idea is that I don't want to lose traction in the first place. I want to be able to just go ahead and lock in to 4 high or 4 low and go about my business. So what we'll end up doing is we'll take this off, and I have the 4x4 conversion kit from Journeys Off-Road. It'll take this off and it'll turn it into a manual 3-speed basically. Instead of buttons on the dash electronically controlled, I'm going to be able to lock in 4 high, 4 low, and then also put it in 2-wheel high. Alright, so when you order your kit from Journeys Off-Road, this is the 4x4 conversion kit. Fits any 1990 to 2005 all-wheel drive. It'll fit earlier models, but you gotta have the drive shafts switched out and converted from a newer model to get the old model. So what this comes with is your adjustable shifting rod. It's gonna come with your boot, your shifter knob, all your essential hardware, your VSS sensor wires, and then your linkage kit. And also they throw in a couple of these sweet 4x4 badges. And it's also gonna come with a transfer case gasket taped right to the box. The system is really simple and it's very plug and play. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crawl under here. We're gonna disconnect the driveline. These nuts were a 15, these are an 18. Go ahead and pull the transmission mount and set it off to the side just to expose the hidden nut. Place the mount back in, hand tighten these.
Coming out like in a heartbeat.
Okay. Next, we're going to drain the existing transfer case. A drain pan like this with a wide mouth is very helpful.
And it's going to want to shoot out of there, so the
8mm to remove the drive shaft.
they just get a little rusted in that. See, there you go. There you go. And then, boom.
You'll need to remove these 2 bolts to get this crash bar attachment off.
Yeah, don't be bashful about
this. Okay. You got her?
Yeah.
Hold on, we're still attached to something.
Make sure to remove all connectors and vacuum lines attached to the existing transfer case before pulling it out.
There we go.
Okay, is it Driveline free yet?
Yep. Okay, and we're clear. Okay, got it?
Yep. Road for 100,000 miles, that detent gets actually deeper.
Okay.
And so, you know, just so you know, that's what you're fighting if you ever take that driveline off, is that detent right there.
Okay.
So there's no sense in sticking a pry bar in there and ruining the flange and getting all western, because the only thing that's going to take that is a rattle tap.
Okay.
So this is like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you know, when they wrecked that Camaro and the kid says, hey, don't worry, I know a guy who's got a bitchin' set of tools. I think he can buff it out. Well, the more tools you have, the better. So this is a fractional stud remover set from Matco Tools SR102. I'm not advertising for Matco. I'm just telling you I've got this because I've had to do these stud removals a lot. And you can spin 2 nuts on here and do it just fine. But these are pretty slick because it fits right over it. And this one's a 1/2-inch drive. So you can take your ratchet and just easily spin it out. And then if you're old and lazy, you don't have to spin it all by hand. If you have some of the right tools, you can just go. And then we can use the same tool and spin them in the other transfer case. I don't know why they took them out, but they must have probably sold the studs to somebody else.
Back to the new transfer case, go ahead and remove the encoder motor.
There's that turd.
And now it's time to prep the new transfer case for install, starting with the linkage assembly.
Alright, so we do and then this
Thrust washer, shifter linkage,
flat washer,
brass washer, and then
this
cap
mofo.
assembly.
Okay, that's more like it. I told you.
Your Journey's off-road kit is going to come with some little 1/2-inch spacers to make up the gap that the new shifter linkage creates, as opposed to the old encoder motor assembly.
Okay. Okay.
Back under the van, we want to go ahead and do some wire management. You can either cut and cap these wires, or you can just zip tie them up to the frame like this. Easy peasy. Next, we're going to grab a 2.5-inch metal hole saw bit. Pick a spot close to the front of this little bump out on the underside of the body and get your hole cut.
Jesus.
Using the supplied screws, install your shifter. There is a sticker indicating which side of this is up. Alright, we are almost ready to put the new transfer case in. Grab some RTV or gasket maker and apply the new gasket supplied by the kit. Alright, a little bit more. Use a 15mm to tighten down all your transfer case bolts.
Grab that driveline. What? I'll lower this jack and we'll get it out of the frickin' way. 15.
Do.
Okay, so what I'm imagining is I can stick this driveline up from the front and you can guide it towards the shaft, but we have to, there we go, kind of have to wiggle it around all this stuff. Okay, so you got your splines on, and then just kind of get tough with it. There you go.
Hold on.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, see, so it goes on much easier than it come off.
Yeah.
tie that up.
Tie that up somewhere, and then the black one's gonna go
all the way up to the engine bay,
yeah,
to the computer.
The long black wire in the kit is part of the shift sensor. You'll need to run that along the body up to the engine bay and connect it to pin slot 23 on this 1999. Now we're going to remove the fuse for the all-wheel drive system. It's labeled ATC in the hood panel. Back under the van, we're going to go ahead and fill the transfer case up with fluid. It really helps to have this little pump top for your fluid. You'll know the case is full when it starts dripping back out of the fill port.
great idea.
With our transfer case in place and tightened down, we're going to go ahead and attach the shifting linkage. You may have to fuss with this a little bit just to get your extension and your throw correct. Now, because we lifted the body but the motor is in the same position, you'll have to modify your lower fan shroud. Cut it back until you can spin the fan freely without interference. Alright, so there you have it. I hope this video was helpful for you if you're considering doing the swap yourself. As you can see in the video, it's a pretty simple procedure when you really think about it, and Journeys Off-Road has done really well at basically thinking about every little gremlin that would come up in this sort of installation. So if this is something you're into or you have one of these vans, I'm also going to be doing a full camper van build out on this, auxiliary heat, power, solar, all that good stuff, and those videos are going to be coming out all summer long. So if you like this video and you like this sort of stuff, maybe go ahead and give it a subscribe and maybe even hit the notification bell to let you know when these videos come out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.